wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, with this logic you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah. I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic, got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep 'em out your face, no way, you don't want 'em, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. I'm built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the gas, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. No, never stop competing, yeah.
All right, I guess there's no going back now. This is Rhino Live episode 4. And as you can see from the title, we're going to have some interesting stuff to cover tonight. We had a red pill section, but the guy is going to have on at the last minute decided after a week's notice to tap out on me. So he's been a friend of mine for years, so I'll give him a little bit of... yeah, you know what? I'm kind of irritated with him, but it's all right. We're here. Everything's fine, and it'll be a shorter show. We won't have to go through that. Basically, we were going to cover how he is just now finding red pill while dating a single mother. That would have been a really good show. We'll see if we can bring him back just to torture him. I knew you guys would be harsh if he was on here, so we'll see. Polska Bob, I see you in there doing some wrenching. I finally figured that out, what that means. If you notice, it's a different mic. And let me adjust my levels. So I actually went down in price on the mic, but hopefully the sound quality is better. If you guys think the sound is better than it used to be, let me know. A little bit less hiss in the background. Let's see. Sup, you testicular wandering anal touchers. Yeah, that's a good way to start the show. I recognize that saying. Pop's alcohol vid was fun. Oh, I didn't catch that one, did I? I don't think I did catch that one. Was that earlier tonight? If so, I did miss it. Just getting through this really quick first. Let the weirdness commence. The music is a good choice. Pretty fire so far. All right, cool. We are on to the topics then, since this will be a shorter show. I've got more latency on this mic than I did in the others, so I still got to work that out. If you guys are hearing any echo or any problems, let me know. But If it sounds okay, then we're good to go. Let me get some business out of the way first. I wanted to give thanks to a couple of you within the last few weeks who have donated over on PayPal. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. It takes half a second. And if you're here, why not? And hit that bell notification so you can see future content. Also, on that note, if you go to the description, you'll see the PayPal me link. That latency is killing me. Hang on. You'll see the PayPal me link as well as merch. We do have merch. If you want a coffee mug with the logo that you're seeing right down there, I have that. I have yoga pants and bikinis for the ladies too, the 3 that watch this channel. All right, getting that out of the way, we've got Mark enjoying the content. Are you going to end up on Subscribestar Locals? Mark, maybe in the future. I'm still kind of getting the hang of things, but it could be a direction I go in the future, so we'll see. And then that was a $20 donation. Thank you so much. We've got a Robert. Let's see. No comment. Another $20 donation. And then Steve. Another $20 donation. So thank you to all 3 of you for your donations. That's awesome. Much appreciated here. And it does go to little things like this, helping the channel get better. This is a downgrade, by the way, like I said, in price. But if it does the job, then I don't care. So, we've gotten that out of the way. Let's just jump right in here. I'm going to show you guys a couple videos, some show and tell. Probably going to get a copyright strike, but I can argue that it's fair use because I'm telling you guys and adding content to it. So, let me make sure I've got everything cleared up here. Close that out. Where are we going? 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila floor. That reminds me of Sammy Hagar, actually. I don't know if that's the reference, but that's what it reminds me of. I used to watch his Cabo Wabo birthday concerts, and that dude would get fucked up. On that note, a toast, gentlemen. What do we got? Just got a video on alcohol and what it does to pop. Post on Locals. I have to go check that out. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm waffling again. Got to get used to this new headphone mic setup. All right, here we go. Article reader. Pop that up. Now you can see this right here. You can check it out on, why don't I post the links in the live chat so you guys can check it out later on your own. Hang on, let me pop out and pop back in real quick. Excuse me, I'll do that a few times till we get the hang of it. But here is link number 1 in the live chat now, since I failed to throw it in the description. We'll go back in here and check this video out. There's a reason I'm bringing this all up, guys. By the way, again, not the red pill content you guys are used to, but it's still going to help you guys be ahead of the game. And the video we're about to watch is kind of disturbing in the fact that it makes you wonder why. Well, that and the poor graphic quality. But why is this content being just pushed out so quickly, as if they're trying to say they know something that they're not telling us? Anyway, let's press play and watch this.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why, just know that the big one has hit, okay? So what do? There are 3 important steps that I want you to remember. Step 1, get inside fast. You, your friends, your family, get inside. And no, staying in the car is not an option. You need to get in.
Well, unless you want to be melted inside the car. But this gets weird fast. And I want you guys to think back to, was it March 2020? Just trust what the government tells you. Do you remember what happened of just 14 days to flatten the curve? Just follow me on that.
Into a building and move away from the windows. Step 2, stay inside. Shut all doors and windows. Have a basement? Head there. If you don't have one, get as far into the middle of the building as possible.
Get in, but get inside, close the windows and doors, and then stay away from them. But yeah, so that's just a minor grievance.
If you were outside after the blast, get clean immediately. Remove and bag all outer clothing to keep radioactive dust or ash away from your body.
Yeah, and don't tell them how to properly don or doff anything like that. In this case, doff. Don't tell them what to do with the clothing so that the radiation isn't still in the same room with you. Yeah, just put it in the hamper next to your bed. Yeah, that'll be fine. But this is rushed, and that's the point I'm trying to get to here. This video, it's on this side, but I see it on this side. It looks like it was really rushed, and that's what alarms me.
Step 3. Stay tuned. Follow media for more information. Don't forget to sign up for Notify NYC for official alerts and updates. And don't go outside until
Okay, I interrupted. I have to. Don't go outside until we tell you it's okay. Because the government always has your best interest in mind.
officials say it's safe. All right? You've got this.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to rewind. This is just a bunch of nonsense here. But the part that bothers me most is how casually she walks on and says the first line. Hey, our city's fucked. What do you do next? Just the way she says it.
So there's been a nuclear attack. Don't ask me how or why, just know that the big one has hit, okay? So what do we do?
Okay. Gentlemen, I'm going to jump over to your chat again and see what's going on here. But that just, it ain't right. All right, let's see. Audio is tight. All right, cool. That's good to know because I've got an echo going on in here, which is making me feel a little bit like ridiculous trying to talk to you guys. Let's see. One tequila got there. Leave you oozing. YouTube is the link I just shared. No, that's what happens when you have too much fun with tequila. Sammy Hagar is good. Friends with Jerry Cantrell, yeah. This is so dumb. Yep. You're dead. Game over. This reminds me of nuclear protocol tutorials from the 50s. No. Wait, you see, in the 50s, at least you had a desk that would save your ass. This time, it's just go inside and wait. Or how about if you know one's coming and hopefully you have some warning, you get the fuck out of the cities. Guys, this is a PSA for get out of the cities. And I'm sure you've heard this. Many different creators have said the same thing. If you still live in a city, which I do, so that's something I'm trying to remedy. But if you're living in a major city right now, this is a pretty strong advertisement to leave. Now, you might just say, well, that's New York, and yeah, well, okay. Some people say that different opinions going around, the few that have covered this, and I'm shocked how few content creators have actually dived into this. But they said, oh, well, they wouldn't attack New York. Why? Well, it's a civilian center. It's not a government anything of government importance. They'd go after air bases and military bases, stuff like that. I gotta argue if I don't even know if I can say his name, but the guy over in the former Soviet, if that guy is losing his mental faculties. Because they suggest, it's been rumored that he may have the big C, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he just take everything out that he could in a final hoorah to lead his legacy? Let's see. Show comments that are being held because it's stupid. Polska, if you see that, definitely fix that because I don't know why it's still holding comments. Well, if you're looking for property out there, I know a guy to help you with that. Jackal, we'll talk after the show, maybe tomorrow, because I'm already tired. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, to be honest. I think I've got an ear infection or I was exposed to radiation. And I'm not joking. I transport medicine, nuclear medicine, and it's secure. So it's mostly joking. But there's that off chance that I'm exposed and currently my insides are eating themselves. I don't know. But my head's been swollen. My ear doesn't hurt, but around my ear is all swollen. Anyway, so again, I'm going to try to keep this short. But yes, I do, in fact, carry packages, sometimes 50 pounds, 75 pounds, say radioactive on it. And it's a fun time, but pays the bills. So whatever, it's good. All right. Bullshit. NYC is financial capital of the U.S. And yeah, there's that. That's absolutely true. Yikes. I see there. If you're living in the big city and a nuke goes off, you're fucked. Absolutely. Okay, let's jump right back in. The reason I wanted to bring that first one up is because it's not isolated. Now, there have been signs, I think something in New Jersey, somebody was pointing that out today, and those signs have been there since the 80s. But this interested me as well. I'm trying to get as sophisticated as Blake here, switching back and forth on my screens. I'm not quite as good as Blake, but I'm trying. Ominous sign appears at Paramus Park Mall, New Jersey. Now, this is not old. TPTB are normalizing nuclear war for a reason. Get ready, folks. Don't know who Matthew Bracken is. I'm not sure if you guys do. Let me know. Maybe he's super important and I'm just stupid. Paramus NJ, a reader forwarded us a photo of an ominous sign they saw in Paramus Park Mall in Paramus. Is that how that's pronounced, Paramus? It's a weird name. We have not been able to find any other information. Not sure what strategic importance a shopping mall in Paramus plays. Let's see. You can't really see it too well, and I can't really see it too well. Let me see if I can do my magic. Yeah. Use my fingers here and just... Oh, there it is. In a radiation emergency, you may be asked to get inside a building and take shelter for a period of time. This action is called sheltering in place. Get to the middle of the building or basement away from doors and windows. Bring pets inside. Okay. Yeah. Again, that goes back to what you guys are saying, and I agree. If we're to this point, you're fucked. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Just wanted to cover these really quick. This is actually probably going to be a really short show tonight since I don't have anybody to shoot the shit with. And I'm already on article number 3. But I'm glad you guys are here. I still appreciate you either way. I hope you don't feel ripped off that we're only going to probably be, I don't know, under an hour is my guess. But, you know, if one of you guys wants to come on Wednesday or Sunday, let me know. I'm happy to have you guys on and we can shoot the shit. Jackal, I think he wants to come on and cover some Red Pill Rage stuff so we could do some actual Red Pill content. So that'd be cool. Jackal, if you still want to do that, let's make it happen. Going back to the comments really quick. Okay. Wall Street has all the gold. We've seen Die Hard 3. And Optimus. Polska, excuse me. That was the last comment. And Optimus Prime. Damn, if we only had power armor. I want to join the Brotherhood of Hood of Steel. Right? Now, let's move on. So, we've got weird, random nukes are just going to start apparently falling in different cities. Cool. That's odd. Amongst all the other things I've covered in my last few episodes. So, just odd. But this one, and I hinted at it in the little title there, this one is a little bit more alarming. And I haven't gotten an update. I looked before I went live to make sure. And as of this date, there is zero update on what I'm about to show you here. So, tomorrow's the deadline. Here we go. Okay. BLET to hold strike authorization vote. Okay. And this is a Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers and Trainsmen. So this is their union. All right. And Independence, Ohio, June 22nd, in a conference call held with all BLET General Chairman today, National President Dennis Pierce announced that preparations are underway to poll members to authorize a strike in the event that one becomes necessary to attain the organization's national bargaining goals. The National Mediation Board released the BLET and all other rail labor unions from mediation with rail carriers on June 17th, triggering a 30-day cooling-off period which expires at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on July 18th, 2022. So we're closing in on that, especially you guys on the East Coast. At that point, self-help is available to the parties unless, this is the part that should concern you, unless President Biden appoints a Presidential Emergency Board, PEB, pursuant to Section 10 of the Railway Labor Act. A PEB would halt any strike or lockout by the parties and would investigate and issue a report and recommendations concerning the dispute. National President Pierce cautioned that conducting a strike vote does not necessarily mean a strike will occur. Except 99% of them voted in favor of it, but we'll get to that in a second. Where was I? While we anticipate that President Biden will appoint a presidential emergency board near the deadline, which I haven't seen anything. If you guys can find something, that'd be great, and that would shut down this whole article. But as of yet, I haven't seen anything saying he has. Anyway, board near the deadline, we must be prepared for all eventualities, he said. President Pierce further explained that BLET members have been without a contract raise for nearly 3 years. The strike vote is an opportunity for all BLET members to deliver a unified message to carriers that we deserve significant pay increases that recognize the essential contributions we make to ongoing record profits. Please make your voice heard to help secure the best contract possible. So this is actually from their website, if you hadn't noticed. So it's got a spin to it that is advocating for let's get a raise here, guys, which with inflation right now, I don't know what these guys are making, but yeah, I can understand it. I can understand the frustration. But let's jump into the next one here in just a second. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss any chats since you guys are chatting away over here. Oh, I should have just gone to that window versus this one. Let me do that. Why are they striking? Well, pay is the number one issue. No pay raise in 3 years. And as you know, the cost of living has gone up considerably. Everything on my end, green light for Wednesday. Cool. Jackal, we will do that then. Yeah, I'm sensing some Fallout 4 episode signs right now. Or ESP signs. I never got to play the Fallout series. Yeah, well, I played... a buddy of mine, he had it. I played like a level or two or whatever, but didn't really get into it. Fallout's looks cool, but I never got into it. Everything works on my end. Yep, got that. And that's it. So we're caught up. Let's jump into the next one. This is coming from usatoday.com. And jumping back over here. All right. Oop, helps if I scroll up. Let me close this ad. Okay. Railroad strike could hit deliveries of cars, crops like a freight train. Will Biden intervene? Yeah, it's way more than just cars and crops, guys. But yes, it will affect crops. So that's the part that really should bother you now. So you have on one hand, you've got them telling you that nukes could go off in major cities at any time. Why is the question? And then over on this side, you've got him saying the trains are about to shut down countrywide. Here's to tell you how many people are involved. 115,000 people that are involved in the rail industry are about to be on strike. Let's go ahead and read the article really quick. This should concern you. Omaha, Nebraska, the deadline for President Joe Biden to intervene and keep 115,000 railroad workers from going on strike and disrupting deliveries of cars, crops, containers of imported goods, and countless other products and raw materials is looming. Oh, did you also know that we are currently not able to produce aluminum because the magnesium is not being produced? Because China is not producing the magnesium? And magnesium only has a 6-month shelf life, so... Pepsi, one of their manufacturing plants is starting to close early. I think they actually closed one of their plants because they just can't get aluminum. And aluminum is in, I don't know, everything. My watch band, that's not fancy, that's aluminum. There's aluminum components in this, there's aluminum components in that. Your bicycle, your car parts. Do I need to go on? Foil for your cooking. It goes on and on and on. Foil is, or aluminum is an aluminum. How do the guys in the UK pronounce it? Aluminum. I can't even do it. Aluminum. But we've got a problem there too, guys. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of waffling tonight. Again, kind of under the weather, so bear with me. Biden is widely expected to name a board of arbitrators to review the contract dispute and make recommendations on how to settle it before Monday's deadline, which I haven't seen anything on. Again, if you guys find something that I don't know about, feel free to drop it in the chat. But so far, Biden ain't doing shit. Once he does that, any strike or lockout will be delayed 60 days. It doesn't stop it entirely, but it at least keeps trains running for another 2 months under a federal law that governs railroad contract talks. Okay. A White House official said that Biden administration is going through the standard process to decide whether to appoint this special board to intervene in the contract talks. Businesses that rely on railroads have urged Biden to appoint that presidential emergency board to try and bring the freight railroads and workers together to reach a deal. Groups including the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and major trade groups of railroad shippers all wrote to Biden over the past month since the talks have deadlocked and mediation officially ended to say a rail strike could cause catastrophic disruptions in the economy. As if our economy isn't already screwed up enough, now we've got this to worry about. Anyway, let's see if there's any more interesting in this article. Gallup will find support of labor unions rising under President Biden. Okay. Any strike is bad, said Rob Benedict with the American Fuel and Petrochemical Manufacturers Group that represent refineries and other chemical companies. We want to avoid that at all costs, especially when we are in a precarious situation like our nation is now in kind of our current supply chain crisis. So if you caught that, American fuel and petrochemical manufacturers are concerned as well. What does that mean for you and me if these trains do in fact stop? Adding to the supply chain worries is a separate labor dispute involving 22,000 West Coast, the truckers, 22,000 West Coast dock workers at the ports that handle roughly 40% of U.S. imports. Oh, that's not the truckers. This is something else. There's a law in California that went into effect that laid off, 70,000 truckers, essentially saying they needed to be employed and they could no longer be owner-operators. That's a bunch of bull. So this is all almost as if it's, dare I say, planned. They're screwing with the trucking industry. They're screwing with the dock workers. They're screwing with the train lines. It's almost as if they're trying to create famine and hardship in this country. It's almost like it's on purpose. There, I'll put on my tinfoil hat. Oh, wait, there's no aluminum. I don't have one right now. Let's go over to the chat real quick and see what you guys have to say. We'll jump back into this article in a second. See how many of you guys are over here. Bigger problem is diesel. The trains run on it. Oh, really? I did not know that. Thought there was... Well, I'm not a train expert. I'm still thinking, coal. But Fallout 4 in a nutshell. That was Polska Bob, by the way. Jackal Hunter. Fallout 4 in a nutshell. Commies declare war against the U.S. War ensues and devolves into nuclear holocaust. The world is now a radioactive ball. Yeah, that sounds right. Polska Bob. If Biden can fuck up the economy even more, hell, he'll take it. Yep. And like I said, what you're saying earlier, I think it's a payment disagreement, which is what most union strikes are usually about. Anyway, jumping back into this article, we'll finish it up here. There's a lot more to talk about on it, but we'll see. All right. Looks like the viewer count is down tonight. I might. Would you guys like to see earlier shows, or do you prefer the later shows? Let me know in the chat. Because I can always move it back a little bit earlier. It's probably better for me too, because I wake up way too early. All right. So, adding to the supply chain worries is a separate labor dispute involving. We already covered that. So we'll jump down here. West Coast dock workers at the ports. Roughly 40% of U.S. imports. Both sides in those negotiations have said they plan to keep cargo moving until a new agreement is reached, even though their contract expired at the beginning of July. The ports rely on railroads to deliver many of the goods they handle. The presidential board can only make non-binding recommendations on the railroad contracts, but those will serve as the basis for the new round of negotiations that could yield a contract that has eluded the railroad since the talks began more than 2 years ago. Okay. Now this is getting into a bunch of nonsense, so we'll move on from this article, but it's going into Social Security and prices. But we won't cover that. Let's jump into this next video here. And again, YouTube, Susan, this is fair use. I shouldn't even have to say that. I'm commenting on an article. That is fair use, Susan. Good God, I've been getting copyright strikes every time I try to give you guys any information anymore. So it's a good thing I'm not monetized, or that would suck. And that is, again, why head over to paypal.com/paypalme/redpillrhino. If you'd like a topic covered, leave a donation. Let me know what you want covered, and I will bring it up here. Links or videos, leave those included in the comment section. I will definitely cover those. Anyway, let's move on to this video here.
Man says he grabbed his gun and scared the group of men off. What he didn't expect is gunfire was exchanged. This all was caught on surveillance cameras. Fox 5 reporter Eric Perry is live outside the home in Clayton County. So Eric, what happened?
Yeah, Tom, Christine, honestly, what happened, that group of men picked the wrong house code to try to burglarize here. You can see the evidence on this BMW from that shootout, just riddled with gunfire. That man said he...
So there's a reason I'm bringing this one up too. None of these are coincidence. It's not like I'm just, oh, well, I'll just pick some random stuff out of a hat. No, there's a reason for this one as well. What concerns me, again, you got nukes, you got train shutdowns, you're already having a problem with the truckers and the dock workers and everything else. But this and the one just after it are telling me something else bigger is coming. And what I mean is crime. Crime and desperation. Normally, you would see what you're about to see in this video, if you haven't seen it already, happen in a low-income neighborhood. Okay? This isn't a low-income neighborhood, and neither is the next article. These people are moving out of the low-income neighborhoods and going to the high-class areas to commit more and more egregious acts of violence. And this is bold. Now, granted, it's at night, but I don't see it's too much longer before we're seeing stuff like this in broad daylight. Reason being, this is just my opinion. Again, as I've said, spoiler alert, we're not in a recession. We're already in a collapse. So you're going to see more of this behavior. Now, hats off to this gentleman. Badass job on his part. And this is the reason that shall not be infringed matters. And if you guys know, I advocate that heavily. But in this instance, this guy may have saved his entire family by his actions. Now, I don't know. I don't know what these people's intentions are, but they came like, I think it was like 4 deep or something. Anyway, let's just check this out.
He just wanted to make sure his wife was protected.
I don't want to die at home. I survived Afghanistan and everything else, and to die at home in my own yard,
The goal for Whitfield Smith was to protect his family and home early Monday morning when he noticed a group of men on his Ring camera.
I'm noticing a young man running from my neighbor's yard across my front lawn into the middle of the street to meet up with two other gentlemen.
One of the men made a near fatal decision.
Sprints of my driveway. I can see on camera that he's hunched down, wearing a gray hoodie, and he's got some kind of firearm in his hand.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt there for a second. So for all we know, this guy was trying to dig through the BMW? He's trying to dig through it. Maybe he's looking for valuables. Maybe he wants to steal the car. But he is on the passenger side, from what I can tell in this video, unless it's reversed. But I doubt that. Unlike this, that is reversed, because that on-air sign is actually backwards. Editing trick there. Anyway, that's why the CR is backwards on the screen. If you guys notice little things like that, I have little tricks I do over here. Anyway, my guess is these guys might have just been trying to steal something out of the car. But what shocks me here is that they brought this many people, they placed them in strategic areas around this yard, and they did it in a nicer neighborhood. Just follow me on this one if you will, guys.
He reaches to try to get into my BMW that's in the driveway. The door's locked. Grab my rifle, head outside.
With flip-flops, pajama pants, and no shirt, this veteran went to war
that
to
dude's
protect
crazy.
his wife, who was hiding
in a good
inside.
way.
Boom, 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 boom. There was one gentleman that was on the other side of the trees, and the main protagonist was right here using my truck as a shield.
At one point, he kicked off his flip-flops, races inside, puts on clothes, and comes back out. He says he didn't have time to be afraid. Only time to act.
I didn't think that they'd be shooting at me and I'd be hearing bullets whiz past me.
This father fears he would have been dead if it wasn't for his BMW to shield the nearly 24 bullets.
They said, Mr. Smith, you're very brave. You're very brave, but you're very crazy, you're very stupid, but you're very brave.
Yeah, and Mr. Smith is...
You know, I can take that lightheartedly and not be offended by it. I saw some people in the comments of this video like, you shouldn't have called him stupid or crazy because, he's defending his family. I mean, yeah, but the dude is a little crazy. Goes out there without a shirt and his sandals there with an AR-15 just blasting. That's good shit. I like that. That's a feel-good story right there. But let's keep playing here.
Is alive. Thankfully, no one was injured in any of this. He says that the group of men actually got away with the firearm that he had inside of his truck there. He also says that after the gunfire really...
So that's poor editing on Fox's part because they don't mention the truck earlier in there. But I guess these guys got away with some kind of firearm in the truck. The truck I don't even see on the screen, so I'm not sure what they're talking about. Or maybe they're talking about the BMW and there was a gun in there. I don't know. Suspicious that, they mentioned the truck. I don't see a truck, but whatever.
Erupted. They tried to break into neighbors' homes to escape. They were unsuccessful, but they are still out there. If you know anything about this, come forward. That
part. So these guys, you're look at the scene here. It's a nice. This looks like the neighborhood my grandparents would have lived in, right? Yeah, maybe a little bit richer than that. Looks like that's a private drive. But anyway, nice neighborhood. The lawns are all taken care of. Nice new car in the driveway back there. Looks like they have the waste service come and pick up their bins. So we're talking about a nicer neighborhood. At least where I live, this would be considered a nice neighborhood. So these guys are not only bold enough to come into this neighborhood to break into this man's car with a Ring camera looking right at him. I assume that's a Ring camera. That's what I use, and it looks very similar. But then they try to break into the other neighbors' homes to escape. Look, I'm not a criminal. I don't think like a criminal, but it would be my thought that if I'm being shot at, to get the fuck out of there, find my car and leave as quickly as possible. Not to be dicking around trying to climb in the neighbors' windows who may also be armed. But these guys are bold. And that's what's concerning me. I see a lot more of this coming. What do you guys think? I'm going to check the chat real quick, but I see a lot more of that coming. Let me finish out the video and then I'll do that.
Forward to Clayton County Police. Of course, you can remain anonymous. Scary moments here in Clayton County, but that's the latest. I'm Eric Perry, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, he made it through Afghanistan, and this happens in his own front yard. Unbelievable.
Right. Unreal.
Eric, thanks.
All right, so that's that article. Got through another one. We're going quick tonight, guys. But that's the self-defense portion of this. Guy had every right to defend his property. Change my mind. Let's check out these chats. Oh, you guys are blowing it up. Let's see. Oh, no, it was just updating. It's not blowing up tonight. Not too bad. Let's see. Earlier for me. All right, Jackal, we will do earlier. Anytime in PM is good by me. Problem, reaction, solution. It's the only play the gangster banksters have in their playbooks. It's all done on purpose. Polska Bob, that is absolutely true. That's what I'm saying. This is going to put the hurt on the people. But here's my thought, and you guys may or may not agree. The people in the know, the corporations, the banks, the governments, they know that we've already struck the iceberg, and this is the Titanic, and we're already going down. So what they're doing, and as if you've noticed the last few years, they're getting all their resources, and they're about to get out. You know what I want? One thing, just one thing, and I'm sure you guys will agree. I want the names of every single person involved in the Maxwell trial released. Every single name. Because until that's done, I just have to assume that every single one of these officials in government and in corporations and everything else, they're all on that list. That's my assumption. Okay? But that's just me. As you can tell, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And my red pill origins were in, used to be tinfoil hat. Now it's about 3 months until it's the truth. But back then, if I told you the stuff that's true now, you guys would have thought I was insane. All right. Polska Bob. Oh, yep. Proper footwear is a must in his shooting. Yeah. See how quick he threw off his sandals there, backed up to the house to put clothes on and continue firing? That dude's OG, man. Jackal Hunter. I can tell that there are going to be a lot of resource conflicts between people who have and those that don't. That's what I'm alluding to. And that's why I mentioned they're now going into nice neighborhoods, upscale neighborhoods, and not just in the ghetto. And the reason I say that is because there are no resources left in the ghetto. They've got nothing. The middle class is being decimated right now. So they're being put at the poverty line. Anybody below that, well, what do they have? Maybe ramen noodles if they're lucky. They're not conspiracy theories. They're spoiler warnings. Or I know, Polska Bob. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, so that's, I'm glad you guys are on the same page as me. And I hope you're following the trail down the rabbit hole here, because I'm not seeing good things coming our way. You got nukes. You got train strikes. You got trucker shutdowns. You got an economy spiral. And you know their excuse now is, well, gas is trending down. Yeah, because gas is the first thing that spikes. And then, not one of the articles I'm covering, but then the automotive industry gets hit. And then the housing market gets hit. And then you start seeing things like layoffs and foreclosures and all the nastiness that comes with it. We are in the automotive section of this recession collapse. I don't have the numbers on it. I should have pulled that up, but I didn't even think to cover it tonight. It wasn't my topic. But the number of defaults on auto loans right now is astounding. Something like, I'll guess, you guys can correct me if you can look that up while we're chatting, but something like 3 million people are now defaulting on their auto loans. The crash of the automotive industry is here, and I'm not predicting, I'm not Nostradamus, I'm going to tell you what comes next. 6 months from July, so that puts us in the middle of the winter, well, early winter, but that puts us the end of the year, the housing market will collapse. It is always historically 6 months after the automotive bubble bursts, the housing bubble bursts. So hold on to your seats because that's going to be interesting. I'm just closing out these articles so we can move on. All right, I've got one more for you, and we're almost at an hour on the stream, so not bad. The other half would have been listening to a guy who is trying to go red pill. Why he's dating a single mother after all the shit I've taught him, I don't know, but you can't save them all. That would have been a good show, though. And you guys, I'm sure you would have enjoyed at least the roast, because he's one of those guys. He's former military. You know, I've known him since like a year after high school. Good dude, love the guy, but fuck, he needs to just get latency. Get with the program already. There, that's much better. When I can't hear myself, it's so much better. But I got to keep it on so I can hear all this other stuff. So, anyway. Yeah, maybe another time we'll get old Johnny one time on here. Maybe at that point he's smart enough to leave this fucking single mom and do better with his life. We'll see. Find out next time on Rhino Live. All right. Nothing new in the chat, so let's cover this last video and get out of here. But first I'm going to check the numbers. Real low, guys. Real low. It's got to be because it's late. I had a lot more of you last week, but then again, I didn't advertise this one like I did the other one. So we were all blue pill at some point, Polska Bob. You are right, but the guy's my age, and by now he's already been through a marriage and a divorce. He is a single dad, and I get that. Women are pragmatic, and single mothers usually... women without children usually don't date men with children. So I get that. But I honestly think he's settling. And he sent me screenshots of text messages he's gotten. I wouldn't share them here, but they were, yeah. That's a shit show, man. That's an absolute shit show. It looks like I'm not seeing all the chats on the online version, so I'm making sure I've got them here. I can tell that there are going to be a lot of research. Okay, got that. They're not conspiracy theory. Yep, got that. All this bad shit is about to go over the top and charge my trench, and my dumbass is sitting here playing Minecraft. I'm fucking procrastinating. I'm a fucking procrastinating dipshit. No, you know what? I was fucking playing my Switch today. I had the day off, and I made it a goal to not do a goddamn thing because I never have free time anymore. If I can pick up my goddamn Nintendo Switch, it's amazing. And even then, half the day I still screwed around trying to get emails out and handling some personal business. So I really didn't even keep my word. I was still doing shit that I shouldn't have been doing. But whatever. Life has to carry on. All right. Jackal Hunter, he's like, she's different and she loves me. Yeah, he absolutely is. And I have a feeling, he told me, he had to go to the VA early in the morning, but I have a fucking strong feeling that at the end of the day, he chickened out because he didn't want to come on here and have you guys rip him a new asshole, because if you didn't, I was certainly going to. All right, we were all blue pill at one point. Polska Bob, does Pop think she's a... You know, it's funny, he sent me a photo of her the other day, like laying in bed, and he's like, I'm about to make your channel blow up. I was like, why? Because you're going to tell me everything wrong that you're not supposed to do. But yeah, I see this picture of him laying in bed with her. Like, that's not a catch, dude. That's herpes syphilita AIDS. But sure, okay, it's cool. You do what you want there, bud. Anyway, definitely couldn't even be a 4. I mean, she's thin, if that counts for anything. So there's no rolls that you have to throw baby powder on to find the spot. But other than that, no. I don't want to be too harsh, but yeah, I would put her to, for me, a 2. But again, guys, I was a model photographer. You know, people, that one girl I talked about, the female chameleon that I did a deep dive on, everybody's like, oh yeah, she's super hot. I'm like, dude, that's a 4 to me. Like, that girl's a 4. And these guys are like, oh no, she's an 8. I'm like, no, she's not. First of all, kids and single mother, divorced twice, that already drops her down. But Jesus. Anyway, you know, they called her an 8. I'm like, you guys are out of your fucking mind. Jackal Hunter. Nah, Pop likes the ditch pigs and WoW orc women. World of Warcraft. I caught a reference. Wow, shocker. I caught something. Polska Bob. I'm only seeing there's one person in the chat, even though I see Jackal. And I'm barely here. Yeah. All right, Jackal. I'll end it just because I know you're tired. And it is a low viewer night. I'm going to try to push these back to maybe 8 o'clock my time, which would be an hour earlier. Is that still too late for you guys, or do you think that's a better time slot for you? Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So Pop, he does his streams 6 o'clock my time. So it would be about the time that Pop ends his streams, I would start mine. If that works for you guys, we can do that. Being thin is a plus these days. Average dress size is 18 now. Yeah, no shit. That was Polska Bob again. So, yeah, definitely a plus, but she was not great. She wasn't anything special to look at, in my opinion. I wouldn't pay to see her clothes off. I mean, she wouldn't be able to pay me to take her clothes off. That helps. 8 is good. Come on. Okay, I thought you were talking about the chameleon video I did. I was like, she's not an 8. 8 is good. Got it. And Polska, fine by me. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, and I don't know where Optimus went. I must have scared him off talking about nukes. But next time. Anyway, we'll do another stream on Wednesday. Jackal, get me some material. Yes, I'm going to be that guy. You want to come on the show, just give me some links, some articles, some things you want to talk about. I know you want to do Red Pill Raid stuff, but if you have anything you want to cover specifically, any topics, any bulletin points, just drop them in the chat we're having on wherever we're having it, on one of those things that we're talking on. The most recent one was that Skype. Anyway, yeah, do that, and we'll go from there. So let's move on to this last article and call it a night, guys, because I am exhausted, and this side of my head is it's not treating me too good. Okay, so we've got again, YouTube fair use. Why do I have to say this? They don't care anyway. They're still going to copyright strike it. I hate them so much. This is on Rumble and MGTOW.tv just fine. No strikes. I think I'm on Odyssey too. Automatic uploads, I mean, and no problems there. But over here, every time. Anyway, let's move on.
Violent crime is raging unchecked through our cities, as you know, forcing companies to take unprecedented steps to protect their customers and their own workers. Starbucks, for example, now providing barristers with active shooter training as murders, rapes, robberies surge nationwide. The dramatic step by Starbucks comes after the coffee giant forced to close 16 of their stores over safety concerns. And 7-Eleven now urging all Los Angeles.
When you go woke, you go broke. As I hear an ambulance in the background. Maybe they're heading to Starbucks.
Locations to shut down at night to allow police to investigate a string of deadly robberies. Meanwhile, crime victims are being tossed to the curb in L.A. as hyper-liberal DA George Gascon disbands the unit that notifies crime victims about parole hearings that might be releasing their attackers. Gascon defending his decision to kill the hearings, saying, quote, While a victim has a right to be notified, they also have a right not to be contacted. Say what? What does that mean, Judge?
It means he's a fool.
It means that
They have the right not to be contacted. Look, for those of you that don't know, when a person is released from even jail, even released on bail, it is the court's duty to have the victim in the crime notified almost immediately. I don't care if it's 2 a.m. They will give you a call and leave a message if you don't answer saying that so-and-so has been released from yada, 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 county or district or whatever, jail, you know. And that's the norm. But this guy's saying they have the right not to be. I guess, sure, but how many victims are going out and saying, I don't want to know when a convicted or accused rapist is on the loose. I don't want to know when the guy that tried to shoot me is out on bail. I don't want to know. I don't know anybody with common sense that feels that way, but I'm not a liberal either, so who knows?
that he is to save a couple of dollars. He is taking away our sacred right of crime victims to be notified.
You attribute to him a good motivation. It's not about saving money. It's about endangering victims and benefiting the criminal. This life unit, as they call it in
can't argue.
I mean, every DA has it. What you do is you prosecute people. They go to state prison.
Guys, and look, I know I throw up a lot of Fox stuff because honestly, here's my opinion on this. And again, I'm going to wrap this up right after this, but I'm not Republican either, shocker. I'm a libertarian. At least I try to be. But the thing is the crazier the left goes, the more I'm like, I'm on the right by default. Like, I don't have a choice. It's either I'm somewhat to the right or I'm in camp crazy. So that's my thing, man. This shit makes a lot more sense to me, the right-leaning stuff, than anything the left has ever said. Ever. You know, I try to be in the middle when I can, but not lately. Not the last decade, for sure. It's been a shit show.
If they're up for parole, what you do as a prosecutor, and I would send my prosecutors out, they go to Albany in New York, and then they would argue before the parole board as to whether or not that person needs to come out. We would often call the family members who are traumatized by this, if the victim is deceased. And we end up calling other people so that the parole board knows that there are people still afraid.
Right.
Now, understand, this nonsense, they have a right not to be notified. He's full of it. The law requires him, and that's why they have a right to be notified. You know why we have that law? Because when these dirtbags get out of prison, they come after the family members. They come after the people who've testified against them.
They come after the
They come after
judge,
the
too.
families that were in court every day on behalf of the victim, and those victims' families are in danger. An order of protection is nothing but a piece of paper. It's not going to save them. So the least thing that we can do is to give them notice that this person is coming out. This man is incapable of running a DA's office. In fact, he shouldn't be allowed in the DA's office.
Well, we'll see what happens with the recall there. Katie, you have Starbucks. It's so ironic, the epitome of lightness and
this is a longer video, but I want to cover it for a reason. And by longer, I mean we've got 5 minutes left, guys. It's not terrible. Hang on a second. I'm going to jump over here. All right. Let's see. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to check some stuff before we continued. Make sure I've got all my ducks in a row.
Modernity. And now they're teaching, shooter training. I mean, how bitterly ironic is that?
Well, the fact that they're having to close all these stores in these.
Right. Now, I want to point this out again. This is all related. So, where are Starbucks? Last I checked, and I live in Denver, and again, I work all over. I go to Montana, I go to Kansas, I go to Nebraska, New Mexico, all of this city. I don't know if you guys know Colorado at all, but I know Littleton, I know Aurora, I know Westminster, Lakewood, Golden, Boulder, Denver, you name it. I've seen it. I've seen it all. I've been in the back alleys. I've been in the dark. And I've been there. I've seen pretty much everywhere you can see in the larger metro area. The big blob you see when you fly over and you land at DIA. That big giant blob. Not the little ones, not Colorado Springs or Pueblo or those. The big giant blob. That I've seen pretty much all of. And if your city is anything similar, you don't find Starbucks in the ghetto. You only find Starbucks in nicer neighborhoods, shopping centers, places where people go to just chill, right? I don't see them next to the dealer down by the 7-Eleven on Colfax, which you guys would have to know Denver to know what I'm saying. But yeah, moving on.
Cities just proves that the criminals are running the show. When you have to start leaving a number of locations because it's unsafe for your workers to be there. And who suffers the most, right? It's the people who are trying to make an honest living by going to work at Starbucks, by going to work at these other stores we've seen across the country.
You shouldn't have made it a gun-free zone.
One part of the system, which in the LA case or
but now they're having to train their
as we saw in
employees.
San Francisco and we're seeing in Philadelphia, if one part of the system is broken, meaning the DA is not prosecuting, the cop's job then is basically just to run cleanup because the criminals are running free. I remember being in Times Square 6 months ago in the convenience.
Damn it. She's not wrong, again, being where I'm from. The cops don't come for the crime anymore. They don't. They come to clean up the mess. She's absolutely right. Nothing that she said there I can argue with. That's 100% true. They don't come anymore. You can flat out say, there's a guy high on meth driving into crowds of children, and they won't respond. Not one, not two, not three, maybe if you're lucky a week later. I shit you not. Now, stuff like defund the police didn't help matters. Thank you for that. But half the police force, if not more, said, screw this. If not because of that, because of the smoke and poke there. But yeah, they don't. I hear ambulances and fire trucks back here, probably for some riot crap going on that I don't know about. But the police, I've had officers look me straight in the face on calls they've had to come out to and tell me, I'm leaving this state. I can't do my job here. There are people that are put in jail for grape and people deleting and are let out the same night. That's what big cities are turning into.
Store in the Walgreens, and these guys just came in and put stuff under their jackets and walked out. And we walk out, and there are police there. And but the workers can't put themselves into a dangerous position by trying to stop them. They don't know if they're armed. They don't have the liability. And that's the other thing these companies are under the hook for, too, is that if someone gets hurt or killed in their store, they may be liable for it, given that there's no deterrence in these neighborhoods to the criminals who are absolutely in control.
You know, Greg, it reminds me of the Freddie Gray riots in Baltimore. What happened, they closed the big Rite Aid, the only one that serviced that neighborhood on the west side of Baltimore. It seems to me the 7-Elevens closing in all the inner cities.
Whatever.
What's happening is that the residents of the community are being denied and deprived a vital service. What if they need a quart of milk at 11 o'clock at night or whatever, Greg?
That's always been the issue with a lot of these, I would say, elites like Gascon and others, is that they don't go to 7-Eleven and they have their employees handle the Starbucks run. So they don't, this is not something that directly affects them. And until it does directly affect them,
yeah, most of these politicians voting on all these issues, they've never, look, I go to a 7-Eleven every damn morning and I stand in the line. You know, you feel like you're in a damn jail. It's the rat race. It's the early morning commute. You stand in the line with the construction workers, the truck drivers, and everybody else just to get. I get 2 bottles of water for the road. And every morning it's the same thing. I know I could get water at home, but planning, not good at that. But anyway, I stand in the line at 7-Eleven. You never see politicians at any of these places. Never. And ever. These people are so far removed from the world you and I live in that it doesn't matter to them. Anyway, let's move on and finish this up.
they continue this way. I'm going to defend Gascon, though. He has got a tough job. He's let out so many thugs and scumbags. Consider the phone bill having to call all their victims. I mean, that could take days to do that.
But that's what's happening.
I know, that's my joke. But I can safely bet that most of the victims are women. So this is another case of where are the feminist groups? Why aren't they speaking up? And then his excuse, he said that the parole notification, he used the word triggering, which again is ironic. But this is another case where they are so obsessed with these BS woke jargon words instead of authentic action, as if this is like, I'm really worried that me calling you might hurt your feelings. Yeah, but he's going to come and kill me.
Right.
So it's like you're replacing a real concern with a fake concern.
With
you're telling them
you guys know what I'm going to say. Bullshit. Thank you, Blake and Pop.
You can't handle the truth. We're not going to tell you. It's crazy. This is a dystopian nightmare.
He's lying. Oh, go ahead, Joseph.
Okay. Yeah.
I am not lying.
No, Gascon is lying.
In terms of Starbucks, can you imagine what shooter training would look like? Well, how would you feel if there was a Starbucks barista and he's...
I used to really, really dislike Geraldo, but he makes sense here. But in general, I really don't like the guy.
He's packing
they're not
with a
letting them
holster.
arm themselves. They're just teaching them to run away.
Yeah, they're doing duck and cover behind the espresso
Throw
machine.
hot coffee. That's what you do.
That's actually a really good idea.
That'll stop the bullets.
Ridgemont High. Remember, he stopped the robbery.
Coffee to the face.
Yes.
Or to somewhere else.
Oh.
Meaning?
Geraldo, of all people, you know exactly.
To the Kawantaha.
So they don't put Starbucks where the gang activity is. They usually put it in commercial districts where there's nice foot traffic, where these yuppies can go and plug in their laptops and text and Zoom mom and ask dad for money.
I don't see Captain Thug Life hanging out at Starbucks. Doesn't happen.
And do what they do. It's like people spend all day there if you're under 30.
It's about the bathrooms.
And now their bathroom policy just got buckled because they opened it up to everybody because they got a bad headline. And people started selling drugs and living in the bathrooms. So they had to back down on that. So the fact that Starbucks is now under assault means the crime is coming from where crime usually is.
There.
To places where it's usually not.
There.
And that's
Nailed
where
it.
These very liberal, woke people don't want to be disturbed. And we talked about how the Democratic Party is changing. And if the Democrats can't get Starbucks without getting stuck up, that is probably the line that they can't cross.
I totally
I've got
agree.
good news for you at the end of this.
I wonder, is it just a coincidence that most of the Starbucks that are being closed are the Starbucks where there are moves to unionize? Because that is a fact.
I mean,
that of the 16 Starbucks closed,
was that in the research?
More than half of them, yes, are unionized.
The Starbucks in Union Station is a dangerous place. And Union Station used to be a beautiful place in Washington, D.C. It's not because
I haven't been there, and it's gotten bad.
Sounds like Union Station here. Don't go there anymore.
Washington is pretty bad overall.
AC HVAC workers won't go to our Union Station. They won't work in downtown anymore. Too much crime. Anyway, the good news. Let's see. Oh, we've got some spam here. Spam? What you guys spamming about? All right, thanks for streaming, Rhino. Have a good night, guys. Right on, Polska. Janet. Hey there, hello. Janet's all right. She's cool. I get a lot of good comments from her, but yeah, this is a little spammy. Janet, I appreciate it, but that's a lot of thumbs ups and dead faces there. Don't spam. It all hit the shit shows. We're working on it. We're real close. I love Janet again. I love that woman on Fox News. She rocks. Yeah, she's all right. I got nothing bad to say. Anyway, Polska Bob, the police are a reactionary force, and now we're caught up. Here's the good news. It's not great, but it's good. It's not bad. Things like liberalism, the woke ideologies of the world, and feminism are only capable of existing in secure and safe environments. Stable nations. If we are on the outs, if we were like the Wild West, things like liberalism, the mental disorder that it is, couldn't exist. Nor could feminism, nor could 31 different genders. nor could any of the woke nonsense. The good news is we are, as I've said in my last few live streams now, in the collapse. Further evidence is in this live stream. These people, these ideologies are about to go extinct. We can get into some of the nitty-gritty, but I'm not going to cover that tonight. But the woke mob also is pro child deletion, right? They're basically ensuring their offspring is not going to survive to the next generation. But I just touch on that lightly here. I'm not going to go into it. But you get where I'm going. If the world is about to fall apart around us, these people won't survive. Just keep that in mind. Anyway, I think that is it for me. I will check chats one last time. All right, good night from Jackal Hunter. Cool. And on that note, I will plug myself once again. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. It takes half a second. Hit the bell notification and please like this video on the way out. If you haven't already, head over to the description. Check out some of the merch I got going over there. And again, if you have a topic for the show or you want to be on the show, consider sending a PayPal donation in the comments. Just refer me to articles or whether you'd like to be on the show and what topic you'd like to cover. And I will either read your articles, go over your thought reaction videos, whatever it is, that hoe over there, reaction videos, or bring you on live. Up to you guys. Polska Bob, Brandon True Blood is streaming, Rhino. And on that note, I am going to check out, and I'm going to end it the way I always do. Like me, hate me, love me, loathe me, Red Pill Rhino, signing out.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and all the doubters, they're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.